Hello and welcome to the Cruise Beyond Limits Relationship Remodel Vision Board Workshop. This is a two-part series, and this is the first session in the series. And this is all about you. So as we embark on the next hour together, I really want to just take a little deep dive into the life that you live, and most importantly, the life that you want to live. And many times when we think about a vision board, it's sometimes is our dreams and things that are kind of unattainable. And what I want to invite you here today is to really design a life that is going to be attainable so we can gain some momentum and some clarity and confidence in our life. All right. So although we're calling this kind of like a version of a vision board, I want it to be an action, like action oriented. Okay. So I'm going to give you some prompts as we go through our session here today. But today's session, just to give you a quick overview of the first today's session and then tomorrow's session, today is all going to be about you. So the relationship with yourself, finding that best self-love recipe, your recipe of action and success. All right. So that's day one. And then tomorrow we're going to come back. I'm going to give you some prompts, going to give you some things to think about and some things to put on your vision board or your action board here tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to build on the lesson that we had today to be able to help you connect with more humans in your life. All right, or bring more humans into your life. All right, so I'm going to give you some of my tips and strategies as an emotional intelligence facilitator and coach, diversity and inclusion coach and facilitator. It's a lot of psychology and building a global brand over the last, 5.5 years now. I have had to grow in my own emotional intelligence and learn about how to position myself and how to have more relationships and show up powerfully, not only for myself, because being an entrepreneur and a mom and a spouse and a military member and traveling all over, we hold so many roles. And there's so many people that surround us. And so in order for us to be successful as humans, not only do we have to take care of ourselves, but we have to know our role in what we play in other people's lives as well, so that we don't have a lot of conflict, so we can live this fulfilling life. So this is a two-part series that I'm going to invite you to. And so today we're just going to dive into our life here today. So what I want to do is start with just a meditation, and then I'm going to give you some prompts, and we're going to go through what it means to live your best life. And obviously, we're going to do a lot of work in the next hour together, but this is just the beginning, okay? So Rome wasn't built in a day. So if you're just beginning this journey and maybe you've never done this work before, I want to invite you to just be present and be right here with us, and just no judgment, no blame, no shame, no guilt. I'm here to meet you where you're at. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through a meditation here. So I'm going to read this off to you. I love technology, so this is going to be great. All right. So this is a self-care meditation that's going to bring us just back to the present before we tap in. Right. So you may be at work, maybe you're in the car, maybe you're out for a walk. I just want you to be present with your thoughts and without judgment. So I'm just going to give you some space to be able to practice and commit to loving yourself in not only the smallest, but also the biggest ways. I really want to help you to create some boundaries so that you can scream heck yes to all the things that you want to do and that make your soul just light up on fire so you can feel loved. So let's begin. Let's sit in a comfortable position. You could be sitting, lying down, or even moving in a safe and relaxing way. If you can, close your eyes and take a deep breath. As you exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into your position. Bring your breathing to its normal rhythm as you settle into this self-care meditation. Simply just be here with your breath for a bit. Feeling your body expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. You are worthy of receiving love from yourself. You are worthy of being your priority. You are worthy of receiving the love and appreciation and care you so easily give to others. You are worthy of enjoying this self-care meditation. Breathe that in, allowing yourself to be open to receiving your love. So imagine with me that you're sitting in the middle of a large open room of an open house. The sunshine illuminates the room and warms your skin. And a soft, soothing aroma makes you feel calm and safe. It's quiet and only noises you hear are the songs of nature coming in from your open windows. Even though it's a large, empty room, open room may not resemble your current residence, just know that this is your home, where your heart and your body and your soul feel grounded and vibrant. You are safe here. Breathe in to the self-care meditation. Here, you can listen. Listen to what your inner voice is telling you. What do you need right now? What would make your body feel good? What would make your mind feel good? What would make your soul feel good? Take a moment and sit with your breath. And with the answers that come up for you, breathe in to this self-care meditation. See these answers in your mind. Watch yourself as you stand up and move towards the door. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to shine. Open the door and see those things you called to mind waiting there, ready for you to call them in. Take a deep breath in gratitude, and one by one, invite each of those things you identified. Each of those things that you know will make you feel good. There is no judgment on what you invited in. Remind yourself of what's discovered in the self-care meditation. Maybe you invited new boundaries you needed to put in to your place to protect your energy. Maybe you invited the permission to say no. Maybe you invited the permission to say yes. Maybe you're invited to something that maybe seems lavish. It's all okay, and you're worthy of it all. So take a deep breath in and see yourself in the middle of this room again, surrounded by all the things you have that are about to show you love, to care for the phenomenal woman that you are. You are worthy of this self-care meditation. See yourself. Look in the mirror on the wall as you place your hands together in front of your heart. See your reflection as you bow your head to your hands and let yourself say aloud, Namaste, beautiful. Now let the light inside of you recognize the light inside of you. Namaste. Okay, so come back. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. It's your medication. It's my daily medication. Meditation has been a huge part of my daily routine. So I invite you to tap into some meditation. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what your thoughts are. And so I hope that grounds you. Before I go into a presentation or a difficult conversation, or even just to start the day, I start with meditation. And whether it be guided or silent, or with music, I take at least a couple minutes and I'm present with my breathing, present with my thoughts. And it just calms the nervous system. And so here's what I want to invite you to just explore. What in your life spikes your nervous system? What makes the peaks and the valleys, right? So that, remember, this is all about you and the relationship that you have with yourself. So I want you to be really in tune. This self-awareness journey, the journey of you recognizing your nervous system and what triggers you, what sets you off, what brings you joy, what you're going to allow in, what you're not going to allow in, what boundaries we need to place in our life to protect the energy that we have. For those of you who are clients of mine, you recognize, you've heard from me say, we have an energy pie, right? And it's only so big, and we have to manage it. And each and every day we have people that try to eat our energy pie. And so we have to protect it, because this is the only body and the only brain and the only heart that we have. It's the only one that we get. So we have to treat it right and fuel it properly. So as we tap into ourselves, I want you to recognize the things that spike our nervous system, that bring high emotions, and then maybe some of the lower emotions as well. So as an emotional intelligence facilitator and coach, and as your tour guide and mentor here today, I want to invite you to really, really, really pay attention to this. Pay attention to your nervous system. Pay attention to the peaks and the values, valleys, peaks and valleys, and also the values, right? So we're going to get into that, a little bit of what brings us joy, what pulls us down, what keeps us playing small, what diminishes our light, what makes us shrink, what brings us into a negative space that lacks confidence, which lacks momentum. So this is all part of our emotions and our nervous system. And so we're going to feel our emotions in our body first. All right. So you have to be so in tune with what these emotions are and what we're placing meaning to them, how we're placing meaning to them. Because what happens in our body and our nervous system, the triggers, the things that happen, good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to feel the range of emotions in our body first. And it's going to travel through our nervous system, up our spine, from the back of the brain to the front of the brain. All right. I teach this a lot in emotional intelligence. I teach this for classes and corporations and teams, right? So I'm going to bring this to you because this is so, so important when it comes to relationships. And you can recognize that this is what the body does. It's not you, or it's not just the other person. This is normal, like science. All right. So I need you to understand the way that your body operates. So this flood of emotion happens, and it goes from the back of the brain to the front of the brain, and it goes through the center of the brain, which is what's called your filter. All right, this is where we process the emotions that we feel in our body, whether you're hot, you feel the blood flowing, you have sweaty palms. Some people get the vein, right? I get the WTF. They call these the 11s, right? So there's a lot of things that happen in our body when we experience emotions, and when we process them through the center of the brain, that's what our filter is. And that's when we place meaning and words to the feelings that we have in our body. Now, why is this important? It's important because in relationships, when we can be in tune with what our body's doing, and we're aligned with that, and we make the proper, we use that filter properly, what comes out of our mouth, or what we do with our hands, or what we do with our face, our facial expressions. If anybody's ever said, fix your face, it's a self-awareness thing. You have to know what your body, how your body is responding to the triggers and the things that is happening in your world. And this could mean people, places, things, society, news, text messages, emails, everything. So studies show that the human body goes through a range of at least 400 emotions in a day. And if you have children, those of you who have children, we experience so much more than that, right? And so the body is constantly going through this, right? And so when I tell you that we need to keep our nervous system in check. It means we have to process these emotions and we have to be unstoppable and protect our peace and protect our energy. And I had a meeting last night with, was it last night? I don't even know what day it is sometimes. But one of my coaching groups, the Million Dollar Body Academy, it's a 6-month program. And I was talking with them yesterday or the day before. And one of the things that we're like swans. We want to be like swans. We're in the emotional intelligence block right now of recognizing our personality. And this is kind of a snippet of what this program delivers. We spend an entire month on our personality, our values, our emotional intelligence, our triggers, and then we build on this. But what I share all the time is that we need to be like beautiful ducklings or swans gliding across like the glass of the water, right? So if you were to think of like your hero or your mentor, when they're going through things, what happens? They're like gliding. And that's why we look up to them. We're like, wow, how do they do it? They're going through so much. And I'll tell you, I have even clients that I'm pretty vulnerable. I'm going through some pretty difficult things right now, but I'm gliding because I'm so in tune with my own body and my nervous system, and I prepare it for life. Okay, so yes, I go through things, but I'm able to bounce back so I can glide better. Okay, because I know who I am. I'm so in tune with my nervous system, what my value sets are, what my boundaries are, who's protecting my energy, how I can protect it, what boundaries need to be put in place. Okay, so this is the start of the work. And we're not going to get there in an hour session. Okay, so we're all human and we might not get this right at first, and that's okay. But I just invite you to just start unpeeling the layers. And so one of the things that when I first started doing this work, the foundation is in your core values. So the first prompt that I'd like you to explore with the relationship with yourself is going to help your filter. What are your core values for your life? What do you stand for? What are your standards? Okay, what are your values? So do you value teamwork, connection, communication? Is it faith, family, money, service? What type of values? What governs your life? For me, it's connection, it's community, it's confidence, it's fitness. So those of you who are in my Cruise Beyond Limits world, if you're not welcome to the party, my 3 pillars of my business are fitness, both mental and physical, the Cruise Beyond Limits way. It's not a fad diet. It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick challenge. Cruise Beyond Limits is a lifestyle of mental and physical fitness, a constant growth towards doing the dang thing, doing the hard thing, standing up powerfully and confident and knowing your mindset and keeping your mindset in check for a positive momentum. We're not in a negative spiral and we're not going back there. We're not going back to 2022. The only reason we're going back there is to collect some data and bring it forward to say, okay, what went right? What can we do better? How can we use this data to fuel us forward? Okay. And then the third pillar is community and connection. So I've built massive communities all over the internet, in person, everywhere I go. I love connection and community. And if you can't feel it or hear it in my heart, in my voice, this is me all the time. And so the more I tap into my strength and my pillars and my values, the more I'm able to make conscious decisions of who I want to be around, the decisions of what I want to do in this world, what I'm able to say yes to, what I'm able to say heck no to. So this is the foundation. If you don't know what your values are, I invite you to start to think about, and you may not get it in this session, and that's okay. But I want you to at least write the question down for yourself here today. What are my core values? What do I stand for? And use those as your filter. So as we make decisions, as we're feeling floods of emotions, recognize, okay, what are my values? If I'm feeling a negative trigger, for instance, if I'm feeling a negative emotion and I'm feeling this flood of overwhelming anxiety and hurt or anger, that's typically someone is attacking our value sets. It's attacking a piece of us, and our body's responding to that because it feels icky because we're not in alignment. Okay. So step one, figure out what your values are. I want you to pick 2 or 3, 1 to 3. Okay. I think we need more than one, because we're kind of like, we play so many roles in life. So I really just want you to have maybe 2 or 3 that you can really connect with. And the brain actually likes 3 things. It works in sets of 3. So if you can do 3 things, so mine's fitness, so mental and physical, confidence, and community and connection, right? So those are my 3 pillars for my life that governs pretty much my brand in my life. If you know me, I'm aligned with those 3 things. And that's basically what you're going to hear from me. That's how I'm going to show up powerfully. That's what you're going to see on my social media. So this is important too, the relationship with yourself and your social media presence, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're a leader in your business or your community. That is your billboard. Okay. So what you put out to the world, you better make it good and make sure you're in alignment so you can not only trust yourself, but others can trust you, that you're going to be consistent in your values. All right. And that breeds more momentum and confidence. When you're consistently showing up in what you said you were going to do, remember the brain keeps track of all the things that we say we're going to do. And that's where the blame, the shame, the guilt, the judgment comes in, because when we don't show up, when we don't do that workout, or we don't do our journaling, or we miss that appointment with ourselves, that's when the negative crash comes in. Okay. So we have to be in tune with our values, but that means we need to know what they are first and commit to them and use them as a filter. Okay. So that's step 1. Recognize your values. Hi, April. I'm going to actually, welcome. I'm going to actually just pin me as a speaker. So, cause this is going to be on a recording. So I want to make sure that, everyone else. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you. So, okay. So step 1, recognize your values, jot them down, at least 1 to 3. The second one is going to be step 2. What brings you joy? Okay. So what brings you joy? Let's mark down a couple things. What brings me joy is sunshine, being around people, breaking bread, enjoying dinner, enjoying laughs, celebrating, dance parties. That brings me joy. Beaches bring me joy. Spending time with my husband, spending time with my stepdaughter, seeing my family. I've moved 4 times in the last 5 years. So like, I need to connect with other people. That brings me joy. Meeting new people brings me joy. Attending conferences and workshops brings me joy. Networking brings me joy. Me being able to be right here, right now, this brings me joy. I never feel like I'm working. This isn't a job for me. This is my life's purpose, because I know what my values are. I know what my purpose and my direction is, and I'm so aligned with that. And so I keep showing up in that space in my strengths. Okay, so what brings you joy, and how can you bring more of it into your world? What brings me joy is traveling. What brings me joy is coaching. What brings me joy is community. What brings me joy is fitness. Guess what? I put all that together into a retreat in Costa Rica. So now I host retreats, wellness retreats, where I do fitness. We have adventures. We have the coaching element. It's a 6-day curriculum. You get to live with me. It's an intimate, beautiful community where we go from strangers to sisters in 6 days. And we do it on the top of a mountain in a mansion in Costa Rica. We get to like just immerse ourselves in the magical environment. And we do daily meditations and yoga and healthy eating and healthy talks and goal setting and connection and masterminds. It's just so beautiful. I've been able to put all my joys together. And that, my dear, is the ultimate freedom. So now you may not be a coach or a mentor or want to host a retreat, but I want to share that with you so that you understand. If you see this light and this like, wow, I want to be like you. I want that energy. I want that freedom. I want that zest for life. This is how I did it. I connected my values. I connected my purpose. I connected my passion. I connected my joys. But I had to ask myself those questions, all 3 of me, myself, and I had to ask myself those questions. I didn't just arrive at the top of the mountain in Costa Rica without doing the work first. I didn't just arrive here with a global brand with several clients and being able to help so many people. I had to ask myself some serious questions. I had to do the hard work and show up each and every day, more aligned. And I kept picking up more experiences and more breadcrumbs to get me to where I'm at. And I'm still on this journey. Okay, I'm not done yet. It's a daily journey and a daily exploration of curiosity. How can I do more of that? How can I bring more joy? How can I bring more heart-centered, beautiful people into my life? And you're right here listening to this message. That brings me joy. So what does this mean for you? And I hope that you find a space in your life where you're able to align some of these things. I'm telling you, this is the ultimate freedom and the ultimate self-love treatment. This breeds a whole nother energy, a whole nother self-love. We don't have to like diminish ourselves or make ourselves such a chameleon to adapt to the environments that we're in, because we are so aligned. We're everywhere we go. Everyone's like, Crystal, you have all this energy and you're always so bubbly and you're so helpful and you're so, all these things, and that's great. But I started to ask myself, well, how is that? It's because I don't have to be someone else anymore. I used to diminish my light. I used to try to fit in boxes. I've been in the military over 20 years, it's going to be 21 years in May, 21 years in the military. I've been wearing a uniform and feeling so like a different person outside that uniform, because I had to fit into a certain place and I had to check our feelings and our emotions at the door and separate ourselves. And so they taught us how to compartmentalize pieces of ourselves, to be a chameleon, to fit in. I've been in a man's world my whole life. I was in construction. I was a project manager for 3 construction companies. I was in banking. Yeah, there were a lot of women there, but banking is a difficult world. I was a licensed broker for investments. And then I was a computer engineer. Being in the military, I was in logistics. I drove a forklift when I first joined the military. I was in a warehouse. Imagine, like, I've just been living this other world and I had to turn off this energy, turn off these pieces of myself. And this is why I do this work, because I want you to be in the utter most beautiful freedom of you. And everything changed when I started stepping into that. Everything changed when I started saying heck no to the things that didn't align, and I started to say heck yes to the things that did, and that fueled me forward, that brought me more joy, and I just kept doing more of it. And here I am living the dream. And I don't even call it a vacation anymore when I go to a beach. I'm just living life. I'm traveling, because that's what brings me joy. Okay? So I share this with you because I want you to find a piece of your story in this message. Okay, so think about, what are your values? What are your joys? Number 3, what do you need? If you're just joining us, that meditation, we just went through a self-care meditation. It asks us, what do you need right now? We need to be so in tune with our body. What do we need? How do we need to fuel it? Do we need rest? Do we need recovery? Do we need nutrition? Do we need sleep? Do we need more water? I need more water. Make sure you hydrate. Okay? So be so in tune with what you need and listen to your intuition. The more we shut out our intuition, don't listen to our gut, and things go wrong, then we start to distrust ourselves. Okay? So we need to step in to the things that we need, listen to our needs. And this is important, especially when we talk about our relationship with ourselves and others, because when there's conflict, typically there's an unmet need. So we're going to go into that a little bit more tomorrow when we think about other people. But right now, this is just about you. This is about you. This is about me right now. This is about you right now. Okay? So I want you to put your hands on your chest and be like, this is about me right now. This isn't about anybody else. I need to figure out what my values are, what my joys are, what my needs are. What are my needs? Okay? What do you need? I need connection. I need to be heard. I don't need to be understood anymore. I used to have to be understood. And I've had to rewrite that story because not many people are going to understand you. They're not going to get you. Guess what? It's not their job to. It is not my husband's job to get me. It's not my husband's job to understand me. But this is where, when we know what our needs are, how can we articulate them and say them out loud and have our daily non-negotiables? So we have a way of living and a way of being that makes us unstoppable. And so they don't have to get it. The only person that does is you and God, or whatever higher being you believe in, God, universe, whatever, right? So only you get to understand it, because no one is living your life except for you. I'll tell you, I spent so many years like judging myself because I'm like, why don't they get me? Something's wrong with me. I'm crazy. I literally asked my therapist this. I was like, you have to diagnose me. Like there's something wrong with me because I'm so different and no one gets me. They don't understand. You're so this. I can't talk to you before 9 a.m. You're so vibrant. You're so happy. You have this perfect life. I don't get it. And so I hear this every day, and I still do, but I don't have this need to be understood and have the OPOs is what I call the other people's opinions, good, bad, or I get a lot of good opinions, right? I get a lot of compliments, which is great, but also it creates a gap, because remember, what I want is connection. So it creates a gap, and I'm like, well, am I really that like different? What's wrong with me? Like, I spent so many years questioning myself. And so recognizing what your needs are, because we need to be able to step into it. All your whole personality, everything, all of your experiences, what your needs are. And so that you can articulate them and step into that powerful being that you are, that beautiful, powerful creature, creator, artist. You're an artist and you get to design this life that you desire. So we have to set some boundaries and some things in place. So what do you need? I need my workouts. I need my naps. I literally just took a nap. I took a 12-minute nap because I knew that I needed to be at 100% for you. I had a leftover steak. I took a nap, leftover steak. That's probably why my mouth is a little dry. It's a little salty, but I took a nap to prepare for this message here for you. I literally have a Post-it note. I have a 3x5 card with a couple notes. That's it. No script. But I need my naps. I need my nutrition. I need my hydration. I need my workouts. In order for me to be at 100%, in order for me to trust what God's putting on my heart and the passion and the love that I'm bringing to you here right now. So many of us are, and maybe you're a mom, maybe you're a leader in your community, maybe you're a caretaker, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a singer, maybe you're a dancer. You need to be so in tune with your needs and pay attention to them. Your non-negotiables, because the world needs you at 100%. So part of my, for those of you who don't know, I published a book. It's a crystal clear life planner. It's a 90-day action plan to embrace chaos and live a fulfilling life. Hashtag an ad, because, I published it. So, but what I do every single day is I time block. And I say, start with gratitude. What am I grateful for? Powerful I am statement, a goal that I'm going to focus on, my top priorities, and then who needs me at 100% today. So many times we will sacrifice our own needs and wants for other people first. Okay. And that's totally natural. So, but when we know that, like I said, my clients need me at 100% today. So then I backwards plan. If they need me at 100% today, what are my priorities going to be? And what do I need to do to be better for them so I can show up in my full power? That means I need to fuel myself. I need to minimize the distractions. I need to close out the noise, close out the tabs, close out YouTube. I closed out YouTube and my WhatsApp that's been going off like crazy. I'm minimizing the distractions. I turned my light on. I had a nap. I know what my needs are so that I can be my 100%. So I invite you to figure out what that is. and then say it out loud and say it proud. So those of you who know me and that have met me in real life, be careful what you wish for, because yes, I am just like this in real life too. So I hope I get to meet you if we haven't met in person. So some of you are coming to the retreat in Costa Rica in May, and I cannot wait to meet you. But the, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. This is what happens. Sorry. But recognizing what your needs are. So, when I meet you, I'm like, okay, I need my naps. I need my meals. I don't miss a meal. I don't miss a workout, and I nap every day. I'm like an infant. So whenever especially now in the military, I say the same thing when I meet new people. I'm like, these are my needs. So I need help. Sometimes reminding me like, hey, did you eat? Did you do your workout? What do you need right now? Do we need to sometimes work the schedule a little bit differently to meet your needs so that you can be at 100%? Okay. So say it loud, say it proud. And then the fourth thing, so just to recap, we're going through the relationship with yourself. Tap right here. This is about me right now. This is about you right now. Okay. Today is all about us. So what are your values, core values? And that's your filtering system. Stay in alignment with your values no matter what. What are your joys? How can you bring more joy into your life? Number 3, what are your needs? The fourth one, what are you good at? What are your strengths? Okay. Are you an organizer? Are you a connector? Are you a creator? Are you a lover? Okay. Sometimes the biggest creators are not the most organized. Okay. So I need you to be real with yourself. This is important, especially when it comes to relationships. So I need you to recognize, where are your strengths? What are you good at? And if you're not sure, I invite you to send some messages to some people here today. I actually met a guy for coffee this morning locally, who I got connected with through relationship building, right? And so I met with him, and so I'm helping him develop his brand online. He's a speaker and a coach. And so I was helping him develop, and he's like, well, I'm like, what's your unique trait? What are you good at? How do you want to be remembered? So think about, what are your strengths? How do you want to be remembered? And how can you be in your best light? So I asked him, I said, ask some people, what about me inspires you? What do you think I'm good at? Many times we put ourselves down, and so we don't always see exactly what we're good at until someone else tells us. Sometimes we need that validation. All right. So let's just be real. Sometimes in order to breed more confidence, we need to ask for some feedback. Okay. So that's another tip. So recognize, what are your strengths? And if you need help, ask for help. Ask other people, hey, what do you think I'm good at? What do you see? What do you see in me? I'll tell you that you're not going to get judgment. You're not going to get put down when you ask these types of questions, because you're coming from a good space and you're trying to be more self-aware. And if you need someone to blame it on me. Be like, my coach, she gave me homework. So I give that homework to a lot of people, to ask that question. What about me inspires you? Okay. What are my strengths? What inspires you? What do you think I'm good at? And the responses from people are like, what are you doing? Why are you asking this question? It's so out of left field. Right. And so you can just blame it on me, tell them about me, and just say, hey, my coach is, I was in this webinar, it was awesome training. Let me connect you. So that's another great way, right? So more people need some Cruise Beyond Limits in their life. Great way to be a connector, if that's what you like to do. Okay. So recognize what your strengths are and do more of that. But as we recognize our strengths, let's not judge ourselves for the opportunities or blind spots that we might have in our life. And this is where we have to be really honest with ourselves. Okay, what are we not good at? And how can we bring more relationships into our life to help us with the things that we're not good at? Okay, so we're not meant to do this life alone. So being real and being honest and doing this reflection, having this honest conversation with yourself without judgment, without blame, shame, or guilt. That's what I invite you to do. Figure out what your strengths are. Figure out where your opportunities are. But I want you to try to really stay in the space of where your strengths are. All right. And then when you see the blind spots, or when you're like catching yourself doing, maybe you're a creator and then you have to build a spreadsheet and that just makes you want to vomit in your mouth, or do your accounting, for instance. Like maybe we just need to find someone to help us do that, which means we have to say it out loud what our needs are. And we're of course aligned with the values. So we find the right people in our place. So that's tomorrow in relationship building. We're going to find the right people that have similar values, that can help you and that you can trust to help you pick up where, so we can be in our best life, to live our best life. Okay. So this is how this all works. It seems simple for me to just be here and tell you that, but it's not that simple. In execution phase, it's not. Okay. So I just want to just share with you, these are the building blocks. So if you do nothing else, just put one word next to each one. What are your values? What are your joys? What are your needs? What are your strengths? Just find, I just want you to write those 4 words and then right next to it, at least one word. Do the work. Commit to the pen. Commit your brain to the pen. Not on your phone, not texting, not on a computer. I want it psychologically. Their studies show that from your brain into your arm, onto the pen, onto the page, it sinks in. From there, we're going to actually say it out loud to someone else. That makes it even more real. And you're 10 times more apt to make the darn thing happen. And I think we place a lot of judgment on what then the worst case scenario is going to happen. And that's why we don't do this. And that's why we don't speak it. Because we're afraid of our own dreams and desires. Of they actually might happen. And then it's going to take a different version of us to step into that next thing, that next scary, audacious, bodacious goal that you're going after. But the body wants to keep us safe. It wants to keep us comfortable. But nothing good comes from our comfort zone. And that's the Cruise Beyond Limits way. So the magic happens just outside of that. All right. So I invite you to write 4 words: your values, your joys, your needs, your strengths. Okay. Figure out what those 4 things are. Okay. So that's step 1. Part 2 of this is your homework. 3 questions. What is your routine? What is your routine? I want you to literally think about it. What's your routine? What's your recipe? I don't want to point at you, but every successful entrepreneur, every successful athlete has a routine. They have a routine. Do you need a routine? Are you out of routine? Is it all over the place? Is your routine everyone else's priority? Oops, it just fell over. So I published what's called the Habit Tracker. It's a 30-day habit tracker. So this is a free resource for you. So if you want to DM me the word habit tracker, I'd be happy to share the link. So this is a downloadable document that you can actually do virtually on your computer or on your phone. It has like check boxes and ways to fill in your non-negotiables in your daily routine. Imagine that. Because when we commit to a daily routine, we're recognizing that we're in alignment with our strengths, our joys, our needs, our routine, our recipe that we set out to do. And we keep doing it. And the brain says, yep, done. Yep, I did that. Nope, I didn't do that. Ooh, I got some work there. Right. So I established a routine of the things that are going to be non-negotiables for me every single day. And they might be different for you. So these are actually all blank in the document as you receive it. So you can actually plug them in whatever you want. But I actually typed mine in and then I printed it out. So it has a Monday through Sunday here. So unless I change it. So I'll just read off to you what my routine is of my non-negotiables that I know if I clicked all of these in a day, that is a good day. Okay. So number 1, no snoozing, no snooze button, which means we got to focus on our evening routine, which I'll share with you in a minute. So no snoozing, morning workout, making sure, because let's be real, if it doesn't happen in the morning, and you kick the can to the afternoon or the evening when you're already mentally and physically exhausted, chances are it's not going to happen. Now, unless you're a night owl or you are so regimented, I would highly recommend morning routine. Okay. So yes, commitment. Yes, commitment to no snoozing. Commit to a morning workout. These are just mine. So I'm giving you ideas that you don't have to take mine, but you can take mine if you want and try them out. And guess what? Really cool part about this is that you get a blank slate. Remember, you are an artist. You get to design it. Okay. So number 3, journaling and intentions. Like I said, I have my crystal clear life planner every single day. Journal intentions with my coffee. I do a daily meditation. And literally that might be 60 seconds. It might be 5 minutes. It might be 20 minutes. The most I've ever done is 20 minutes, to be honest, because my brain is like, there's just a lot, right? And so I'm still in this practice of progress, even in meditation. And that's why I wanted to bring it here to you today, because it's been so powerful for me. If you're someone that is your brain is constantly going and you got spaghetti brain and there's so much up there and you're like go 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 and you're really creative, like that is where I would highly recommend to bring even 60 seconds. Start with 60 seconds of meditation. There's tons of meditations, guided meditation out there. Highly recommend it. It will calm your nervous system and help you stay grounded. And I recommend doing it in the morning before you start your day, because it'll just, and then if you need to do it again in the evening, there's sleeping meditations as well. Okay. So the next one I do is a decluttering challenge. So I find something, whether it be my desk, an underwear drawer, email clean out, the dishes, the laundry, put something away. So I find time to declutter something in the house or in my space. And then I do at least three lead generating activities for my business. So that can be anything. So I give myself credit for at least 3 things. So at least I did that. All right. So if I woke up, even if I posted on social, that counts. Okay. Read for 10 minutes. So I like to read an article, listen to an audiobook, read on LinkedIn, read a book, whatever that is, 10 minutes. And I actually have an alarm set on my phone. So I can actually set my alarm. It says read for 10 minutes. And I set the alarm and then it's for 10 minutes. And then that's the prompt that comes up. So you can actually use your alarm too as really great prompts throughout the day. Set alarms to take your vitamins, to go for a walk, to do your workout, to drink your water, to, take your nap, read, do your journaling, do your gratitude, whatever that is. Okay, so read for 10 minutes, a present moment with my husband. So we're both in the military and we're both building businesses. We're both entrepreneurs, so we're very busy. So we have to be intentional with the times that we are present with each other. So I write it down so I can check it off every day and I make sure that I had a present moment uninterrupted. And then speaking of the evening routine, I make sure I'm in bed by 10. Okay, so that's my non-negotiables. So what's your routine? The eating, the meal prepping, the snacking, the napping, all of that is already ingrained in my being, right? So those aren't things that I track because it's just natural for me. And that might not be natural for you. So if you forget to eat lunch, I would track it. If you forget to eat breakfast, I would track it. If you forget your gratitude, I would track it. If if there's something that you want to work on, definitely track it. That's my recommendation. Okay. So figure out, number 1, what's your routine? Number 2, what are you going to say no to after today? What are you going to commit to saying no to? Is it other people's opinions? Is it sugar? Is it alcohol? Is it the drive-through? Is it scrolling social media before you do your workout? That's something that I used to do. I used to literally pop up. I don't hit the snooze button. But then I never used to check social media until I did my workout. And the last couple of weeks, I've kind of started scrolling and checking all my notifications first thing I wake up. I'm still working on this. Okay. So I'm human. I'm just like you. Okay. So just because I'm piercing through your screen right now does not mean I'm perfect. So, but that's why I put these systems in place so I can create this momentum, because When we stop doing things and we start telling ourselves that we're lazy and that we're not good enough and that I can't trust myself, and that's when we shrink even more. And that's no good for anybody. Okay. So what are you going to say no to? And then, so that's question number 1, what's your routine? Question number 2, what are you going to say no to? And question number 3 is, how are you going to have more fun in your life? Do you need dance parties? Do you need a trip? Do you need a staycation? Do you need to go into nature? Do you need to call a friend? Do you need to go to happy hour? Do you need to go for a coffee date? Do you need a virtual coffee date? Do you need a co-working session? How do you need to breathe more fun into your life? Do you need a retreat? Do you need more fitness? Guess what? I make fitness fun. I teach 30-minute boot camp, HIIT and kickboxing sessions. We do dance parties. I spit and drool, and I'm all of me right here in this space. You don't need much, no equipment. It's 30 minutes, including warm up and cool down. And I make fitness fun. We don't have to take ourselves so seriously. Okay, so how can you bring more fun and energy into your life? Guess what? The energy, if you're like, Crystal, I'm so tired, I can't work out, or I'm injured, I can't work out, or I stubbed my toe. Like, no, you're no matter what kind of person. And if you want more energy, you need to move your body, no matter what. I have people that are in my program that are in their 70s. I have 2 women that are in their 70s. They're 71 and 72 years old. One of them is in a wheelchair. They still move their body every single day. I have people that are recovering from cancer, hysterectomies, people that are pregnant, post-pregnancy, right? Injuries, casts. They still move the bottom side of their body. Just because you broke your hand doesn't mean you can't march in place or go for a walk, but yet we shut down. So this energy and this fun and this zest for life comes from moving it and fueling your body in the proper way. And doing it in a space that is like, hey, let's not take ourselves so seriously. Let's bring more energy. So start to design your life. Design your routine to have more fun. So that might mean going to a comedy show. That might mean going for a walk. Get out. If Netflix is watching you, create some more memories. And if you were on Netflix right now, would people want to watch it? Is it going to be inspiring? Are they watching you having fun? Or are they watching you so rigid and so controlling and so in anxiety and depression and sadness and not moving and not going after your dreams and goals? I'm telling you, this is the magic. Bring more fun. Figure out what this looks like for you. And if you need support, I'm in your corner every step of the way. All right, so this is day 1 of the relationship remodel. So this is the remodel part 1 of you. Remember, this is about you. So in the next day, I want you to really, really tap into yourself, your joys, your values, your needs, your strengths. Start to see some opportunities for you. What is your routine like? What are you going to say no to? What boundaries are we going to put into place? And how can you have more fun? So that's today's lesson. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the relationships that we have with others. And we can't really get into that unless we do this work first, okay? Because this is super important. So the more we do this work on ourselves, the more we're able to connect with others and be more empathetic and be more sympathetic and compassionate, because we're recognizing that everyone else is going through this thing called life as well. And they all have a nervous system, and they all have triggers, and they have their own values and joys and strengths and all the things that they're trying to navigate. It's no wonder why we have conflict in the world, because everyone's just trying to figure out this thing called life. So come join me for tomorrow, same time, same station. Bring your friends. If someone missed today and you think they need to hear this message, please invite them. Send me a message. I'd love to have a conversation with them as well. I hope you enjoyed this message. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Go out, be great. You get to design the life that you desire. Go cruise beyond limits. The cruise beyond limits, that the limits that are placed in front of you by people, places, things, and society. But most importantly, cruise beyond the limits that we place on ourselves. And I'm here to support you. I'm in your corner. Please reach out if you have any questions, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Cheers. Crispy on the Mitts.